welcome to Conversations with Nicole at Nefertari's Fine Cuisine, and I am Nicole Everett, and today my very special guest is Miss Chucha Barber.
Thank you.
How are you, Chucha?
I couldn't be better. Thank you for asking.
Good. Well, you and I kind of got acquainted back when you were the executive director over at the Mary Brogan Museum of Arts and Science.
That's right.
So since the museum has closed, tell us what you're doing now.
Well, I own my own company, which is called Chucha Barber Productions. Spent a lot of time thinking about that name.
I know, that was a difficult
It was
one.
hard, right. And I've been doing a lot of video work, commercials, web videos for corporations, and my very favorite television programs.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so tell me a little bit about some of the projects you're working on.
Well, the project that is nearest and dearest to my heart is based on my father's real life experiences as the first Latin American editor of the Miami Herald, and the unique relationship that he had with Fidel Castro.
And what was your dad's name?
My father's name was George Southworth.
Okay.
And back in the 50s, there weren't a lot of reporters at Miami media organizations that spoke Spanish, believe it or not.
Okay.
And my dad did. And so it put him in a unique position where he spent a lot of time in Cuba. And when my mother died, I found a box that had 650 front page stories in the Miami Herald that my father had written about the Cuban Revolution, the Bay of Pigs invasion, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and other related events. And it seems to be a really timely topic.
Absolutely.
And so we've put together a short film, and now I'm working on a sizzle reel because it's my hope that it will become a syndicated television series.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
It is exciting.
Oh, man, I would love to see that once you put that together.
Okay, well, you'll be on my short list of emails.
Good deal. We may have to get you back on so you
can
tell us a little bit more
I'd
about
like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd like that.
That's great. So tell me what brought you to Tallahassee and what keeps you here?
Well, my husband and I lost our home in Hurricane Andrew. And following Hurricane Andrew, our contractor left the country with our insurance money. Oh, so we spent a couple of years rebuilding the house with our own labor and blood, sweat, and tears and money.
Wow.
And when we were done, we loved our home and it was really beautiful, but some of our neighbors did not rebuild. And so the quality of life in the neighborhood diminished. And subsequently, my home was burglarized 5 times in 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
And each time was more violent and more destructive than the time before. In fact, so much so that on the final occasion, there was blood all over my doorstep and my living room floor. And I realized I had left my youngest son waiting for the school bus when I went to work.
Oh my God.
So my initial fear was that the bad people had come before Ryan got on the bus. Subsequently, I discovered that they had military maced my dogs and beat them with shovels and baseball bats.
No, that's heartbreaking.
So it was heart-wrenching, and I said to my husband, you know what, we've got burglar bars on every door and every window, and I feel like I'm the prisoner, and I'm confident that there are people that don't live like this, and I want to be one of them.
Right.
So we got in the car and we drove north, and when we got to Tallahassee, it was springtime in Tallahassee, and it was beautiful.
Wow.
And my husband had been in the state retirement system for like 22 years, and I said, you know what, if you can't get a state job in Tallahassee, you can't get a state job. So that's what brought us here. And what kept us here is that there's an amazing, wonderful set of experiences for anybody that wants them. I found the community to be welcoming. I found the community's residents to be highly intelligent and engaging. And it was the best decision of my life. So this is home.
Good deal, good deal. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you, thank you, me too.
So tell me about some of your inspirations and aspirations.
Well, my greatest inspiration in my life was a man by the name of Ralph Sanchez. And Ralph was, for those that don't know him, the founder of an event called the Grand Prix of Miami. And he had grown up in Cuba, where before Castro, there were tremendous Formula One car races on the streets of Havana. And he wanted to bring that concept to Miami. He was an individual who came to Miami as part of the Pedro Pan program. And for those not from Miami, you may not know that post-revolution, a lot or many Cuban families sent their oldest son to Miami, who would become in the ward of the Archdiocese of Miami. So oftentimes they came with literally only the clothes on their back.
Wow.
And they were nurtured and educated and have wonderful success stories. And Ralph was one of those people. So Ralph fulfilled his dream, and we did run IMSA racing cars on the streets of downtown Miami, which was quite the challenge because we'd have to convert Biscayne Boulevard into a racetrack.
I can't even imagine that.
It was amazing.
Okay.
And Ralph went on to be the catalyst behind the creation of the Homestead Motorsports Complex.
Ah, okay.
So I share that story because from Ralph I learned if you can dream it, you can live it. And there isn't anything too big to achieve, but for your own barriers that you put up. And so I think of Ralph as my greatest mentor. And I often think of him very fondly, and I find thoughts of him to be very inspirational. And in terms of aspirations, I want an Oscar. I do. I'm proud of my achievements in broadcasting, but I want a little guy to go with my little girls.
I like that.
Thank you.
I can see you getting an Oscar too.
Thank you.
A little guy to go with your little girls.
A little guy to go with my little girls.
I love it. I love it. So we're here at Nefertari's, and I know this is your first royal dining experience.
It is.
So tell me, what type of food do you like?
I like every kind of food. In fact, I don't want to sound immodest, but I'm a gourmet cook.
Oh, wow.
Right. And my friends know when the Food and Wine magazine hits the stores, they call me up and want to know which recipe I am making for dinner. So
I love it.
I do. In fact, my favorite thing to do on the weekend is to cook. I cook every night pretty much, but for sure on the weekends, because I have a lot of time and I have the leisure of preparing things. And in all candor, I don't think there's anything that brings me greater joy as a hobby than to prepare great meals.
Okay, so what's the best meal you've made recently that you like?
The best meal that I made recently was scallops and shrimp over an angel hair pasta with some sauteed spinach and crunchy prosciutto and some freshly grated cheeses sprinkled on top. And the only dressing was really an infused olive oil with mushrooms and a little bit of vinegar.
Yum. Sounds
it was pretty
delicious.
Cool. Thank you.
So if your life was a spice, if you could describe your life as a spice, what spice would it be?
Cilantro.
Cilantro. Okay, why cilantro?
First of all, it's so fragrant. It's one of the most fragrant spices. I love to roll it in my fingers. And but the other reason is that Chinese chefs will tell you that it's Chinese parsley. Italian chefs will tell you that it's Italian parsley. And I think that anything that's unifying within cultures is really a beautiful thing. So I love its versatility, and I love its fragrance, and I love the beauty of the leaves when it goes on top of something. And so I dig cilantro.
Now you cook with it, I assume.
Oh, I do. I have a garden.
Oh, do you?
And I grow my own spices. I have spices aplenty. I can't think of a spice that I don't have growing in my garden because for me, fresh spices make a world of difference in the final product that you serve.
Absolutely. Okay, good deal. I'm a gardener too, so I have that same appreciation. There's nothing like fresh.
Nothing like fresh anything, frankly. Let's go there.
Absolutely.
Fresh anything. Bell peppers, hot peppers, and then all my spices, sage, rosemary, cilantro.
Wow.
basil,
Okay. Well,
oregano, mint, you name it.
Good. Well, thank you so much. Our food is here,
Thank
so
you.
we are going to have to end this conversation today, but join us again for Conversations with Nicole, and don't forget to like us on Facebook and on our YouTube channel, Conversations with Nicole. All right. You got the
I did. I got the tofu taco. Looks good, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. Awesome.